you dread going to work every day because of your toxic manager or coworker, that's a problem. Hi everyone, welcome back. My name is Brittany Hayles, and this is Hayles Consulting, a business dedicated to helping you gain clarity in your career. Today we are talking about toxic coworkers and managers. Unfortunately, there are times throughout our career where we have to go to work and work with people who drive us absolutely crazy. And because I don't want you going to work every single day dreading the fact of having to face certain people, I'm gonna be walking you through 3 ways to deal with toxic coworkers and managers. Before we even get started here, go ahead and click that subscribe button down below for new videos every week. Also, don't forget to follow Hayles Consulting on Instagram for more career tips every single day. Let's get started. So the first way to deal with this type of person is to provide them with timely and detailed feedback. And when I say timely feedback, I mean as soon as possible. The ideal feedback would be right then and in that moment. If they said something disrespectful to you or did something disrespectful to you, right then in that moment, let them know like, hey, don't do that again. You let too much time go by without telling them what they did to you, they're probably gonna do it again, which is gonna build up more animosity between you and that individual in the relationship. And the next thing you know, like, y'all are duking it out outside. And we don't want that. The sooner you tell them, the better. They can correct the action, things can be spoken about in that time. Because a lot of times too, people are like, why did you wait so long to let me know? And in addition to it being timely, make sure that it's detailed. Let them know exactly what they did that was inappropriate or disrespectful. Just like I said in a lot of my other videos, facts, not feelings. If that person cared about your feelings, they would have never said anything crazy to you in the first place, and they would have never acted crazy towards you in the first place. And when I say facts, I mean facts. If your manager is asking you to perform tasks on the weekends, and your contract clearly states that you work Monday through Friday, bring the facts to the table. So be detailed about the feedback that you're providing them and make sure that, again, you're bringing facts to the table and a lot less feelings. Because at the end of the day, if they cared about your feelings, they wouldn't have talked to you crazy or done that crazy thing to you in the first place. So the second way to deal with this type of person is to set clear boundaries and stick to them. In the first example, you provided them the feedback, and now you're setting boundaries for yourself to let them know, like, hey, y'all ain't about to do this to me. And that boundary could be one where you're setting a work boundary of a list of items in your head that you will absolutely not help that person do or not do for that person. Anything work related, you have a no checklist of all the things they've been asking you to do or all the toxic things they've been doing towards you and saying, I will no longer accept those. And then there's those actual physical boundaries where if that person being in your space it just ruffles your feathers, you may have to set a physical boundary with them, like moving your desk or actually relocating to a place and working from a completely different location where you don't have to interact with that person as much anymore. Or it can be a virtual boundary where you literally block that person on chat between certain hours or on certain days. You're limiting their access to you. But boundaries have to be set with toxic people because they, again, do not care about people's feelings. All they care about is themselves. So you have to protect your peace by setting and saying, no, I will not do these things, or physically removing yourself from a situation. And again, you're not running from them, you're protecting your own space, your own sanity, and your own peace. So the third way to deal with this type of person is to contact human resources or your manager. Now, there are situations in which you've set boundaries, you provided this feedback, and this person is still being absolutely inappropriate and disrespectful. Now, let's say that individual is your coworker. I would highly recommend reaching out to either your manager first or human resources. And the same thing as I said before, bring facts to the table, not feelings, as much facts as possible. So try to bring those texts and emails and whatever things that you have that you can physically give to your manager to let them know. Your manager or HR may bring forth some sort of action plan or something, some sort of moderation plan on how to best deal with this individual or how to best move forward. Now, one thing to absolutely keep in mind, your manager is more than likely also that person's manager. And even if they're not, they probably know each other, whatever it may be. So keep that in mind when you're bringing this information to the table and setting your expectations of what the outcome is going to look like. I've seen plenty of scenarios where there's tons of evidence on the table as to this person, this person being absolutely unreasonable, and they still don't get in trouble or get any sort of repercussions. It happens, but don't let any of that stop you from telling your manager or HR about your toxic coworker, because at the end of the day, you're covering yourself and letting them know about the situation before the other party does. And let's say the situation is with your manager and having to complain to HR about your manager. Again, bring the facts to the table. Bring the text, bring the emails, bring any physical evidence that you have of how this person has interacted with you in a negative or inappropriate way. And once again, similar to how your manager could be best friends with the person that you're trying to complain about, HR is looking for the most beneficial option for the company. Remember, HR is absolutely trying to benefit you, but HR is trying to benefit your company the most. So don't go in there expecting that you're about to change managers or that they're gonna fire your manager or whatever it may be. It depends on the severity of the situation and what the situation is. Go into there with the expectation that you are telling your truth and you want them to know about what's going on here. And the final thing is that a lot of companies actually have an internal mobility team where if you're having a really hard time on your team, culture fit wise or personality wise or whatever it may be, any sort of toxic work environment, there are a lot of companies that have a team dedicated to this specifically. So try and do some research and see what resources your company offers to individuals who are having a really hard time in their work environment, because it may be a much simpler process than you think. So as we wrap things up here, I want you to remember that a situation where it's a toxic coworker or a toxic manager or just a toxic work environment can be mentally exhausting. So take care of yourself if you are going through this sort of situation. Seek therapy, meditate, pray, talk to family and friends, whatever it is, and how you take care of yourself, do that, because a situation like this can definitely be mentally taxing. And I want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Don't bottle it in. Talk to somebody about it and take care of yourself. As I said earlier in this video, I am a career coach. So if you're looking to grow your career or transition into a new career, I can absolutely help with that. Or even if you're going through a toxic work environment and want to know how to strategize it and move accordingly, I can help with that too. So contact me at info@haylesconsulting.com, or you can click the link down in the description box below. Don't forget to comment down below what topics would you like me to talk about in the next video. This was actually a suggested video, so thank you to whoever suggested it, because I cannot remember right now. Like this video and share it with everyone who you think would benefit from it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.